भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees who assembled for today's session. I welcome all of you back to Gita Pravaha series. Yesterday we discussed the beautiful 7 shlokas of Gita Mahatmya, and we also discussed the importance of Bhagavad Gita, relevance of Bhagavad Gita in our own lives. And today we will start the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the first chapter, Arjuna expresses his doubts about the war. He was confused. Now, this chapter interestingly begins with a shloka by Dhritarashtra. Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavan's Gita, Krishna's song. Now, if we call this entire beautiful scripture as Krishna's teachings, Krishna's song, why is this Bhagavad Gita beginning with a shloka by Dhritarashtra? That could be a question. How can Gita begin with Sri Dhritarashtra Uvacha? The answer is simple. Sometimes a great speaker, a Vakta, may go and present some teachings in a program. But before he speaks, there may be few people who are announcing some things, introducing the speaker. At the end of the session, somebody could come and thank the speaker or share their reflections, realizations, appreciation. So, although the speaker of a program is advertised as one person, there may be few other people also speaking. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra speaks one shloka. Arjuna speaks several shlokas asking questions. And Sanjaya also speaks so many shlokas giving a commentary. In fact, the entire first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Sanjaya, except the first shloka. So the center stage in the Bhagavad Gita is given to Krishna, and his words are topmost. He speaks 500 some plus shlokas, close to 600 shlokas. Remaining more than 100 shlokas are spoken by other members, primarily Sanjaya, Arjuna, and also Dhritarashtra. So let's see the first shloka. In the first shloka, Dhritarashtra says, now before that, let me give you a little prelude. uh, in the Hastinapur great kingdom, there were two princes, Yudhishthir Maharaj and Pandu Maharaj and Dhritarashtra. But for some reason, Pandu died, and Dhritarashtra, although he was blind, had to assume the throne. And Pandu Maharaj had 5 sons, as all of us know: Pandavas, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev. And Dhritarashtra had 100 sons headed by Duryodhan. This Duryodhan always hated the Pandavas. He wanted to eliminate the Pandavas. He does not want to share the privileges, royal privileges and kingdom with these Pandavas. So he tried to poison Bhima and kill him. And as they grow up, they established a kingdom called Indraprastha. But Duryodhan became very envious of him. He organized a gambling match and defeated the Pandavas in cheating means, and finally usurped their kingdom and sent them to the forests. So 12 years they were in the forests. 1 year they did Agnatavas, incognito. Their identity should not be revealed to the whole world. That's how they should spend 1 year. If their identities are revealed, They'll have to repeat this 12 years vanvas again. So that's how he made an arrangement. But and he also tried to disrobe Draupadi. But after finishing the vanavas, when Pandavas came back to claim their kingdom, the Duryodhan was so arrogant. He said, I cannot give. Forget half the kingdom, I cannot give even that much kingdom under the tip of a needle also. Even Krishna personally advised him, but still he wouldn't. So the Pandavas and Duryodhan party with their supporters, they had to come together to fight with each other at Kurukshetra. So that's the background of Bhagavad Gita. So now Sanjaya was narrating this whole incident, whatever is happening on the Kurukshetra battle, to Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra asks him a question. So first shloka of this chapter is Dhritarashtra's question to Sanjaya. From second shloka till the end, Sanjaya gives an answer to Dhritarashtra's question. So in this chapter, we will see Duryodhan comparing the armies and signs of Pandava's victory, Arjuna's doubts and confusions, and finally his reasons not to fight. So first, Dhritarashtra's inquiry. This inquiry of Dhritarashtra shows how partial he is, how selfish he is. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samavetaयुयुत्सवः mamakaः pandavaश्चैव kimakurvata sanjaya. The meaning of the shloka is dharmakshetre kurukshetre. In a glorious dharmakshetra or a place of pilgrimage called Kurukshetra, Samaveta Yutsavaha, who Pandavas and Dhritarashtra's sons, they both assembled together, Yuyutsavaha, with a great eagerness to fight. Right? After having assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra with a great eagerness to fight, what did they do? Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Mamaka means my sons, Pandava means Pandu's sons. He separated these five Pandavas from his own sons. Kimakurvata, what did they do, O Sanjaya? That was his question. Now, when these two parties assembled on the battlefield to fight, what will they do? They will fight. Right? Dhritarashtra himself answered his question in his own shloka. Yuyutsavaha means they assembled there with great eagerness to fight, but he's also asking, Kimakurota, what did they do? If they assemble there to fight, they will fight. But please understand, this question is not irrelevant question. Because within Dhritarashtra's mind, four emotions are fighting with each other. Behind this question, Dhritarashtra had four things in his mind. First, greedy. Dhritarashtra was very greedy for the kingdom. He wanted his sons only to enjoy this vast Hastinapur empire. Second, he was doubtful. Although he wanted his sons to enjoy the kingdom, but he was doubtful whether his sons will be able to win the war or not. Third, he was fearful. He was thinking that, oh, Kurukshetra is such a holy place, and by the influence of this holy place of pilgrimage Kurukshetra, maybe my sons might compromise. They may say, oh, let's give half the share of the kingdom to the Pandavas. They may think like that. They should not think like that. He was fearful that his sons might compromise. And finally, he was hopeful. What was his hope? He wanted Pandavas to compromise. He wanted Pandavas to give up their claim over the kingdom and go away, leaving the kingdom for the for Duryodhana and his party. So these were the thoughts within Dhritarashtra's mind. Then Sanjaya started explaining. He started responding to Dhritarashtra's questions. Now you see the difference between Dhritarashtra and Kunti Mata. Kunti Mata, she was the wife of Pandu Maharaj, and when Pandu Maharaj died, she had to maintain her own three sons, who are the Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhima, and Arjun, and also her co-wife Madri's sons Nakul and Sahadev. So she considered all these five sons as her own sons. And she maintained them like a mother. She never discriminated between her sons and her co-wife's sons. That is her magnanimity as a Vaishnavi. On the other hand, after Pandu died, Dhritarashtra could not consider his brother's sons and his sons equal. Dhritarashtra had 100 sons and Pandu had only 5 sons. Can't Dhritarashtra consider these 5 sons also his own sons and think that I have 105 sons? It's only 5% addition. But in Kunti Mata's case, she managed to consider her co-wife's sons as her own sons. She never discriminated. It's like 40% adding to her thing. And generally, brothers are close to each other, not co-wives. But Kunti Mata, she maintained her co-wife's sons as her own sons. That is her magnanimity as a Vaishnavi. This is what devotion does. So Dhritarashtra is not a pure devotee, but Kunti Mata is a pure devotee. Although Dhritarashtra understands dharma, but he cannot act according to dharma because of his weakness, because of his undue attachment towards his own sons. Anyways, Sanjaya started responding to Dhritarashtra's questions. He said that now we may have a question here. Why can't Krishna kill the Kauravas? Yes, Krishna could have killed all these Kauravas. Krishna could have easily eliminated Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, Shakuni, and all their supporters right at the moment when they touched the sari of Mother Draupadi. But he did not do so. Why? Because he wanted to give the credit of eliminating Duryodhan and party to his own devotees Pandavas. Although Krishna is capable of killing and destroying all these negative forces, he personally has killed so many demons like Putana, Aghasur, Bakasur, Sakatasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, Arishtasur. As a small child in Vrindavan. He also killed Kamsa. He also killed associates of Kamsa like Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshala, Kota. He also killed Kuvalaya Pida, a powerful elephant. He killed Shalva, Dantavakra, Shishupal. So many demoniac people were annihilated by Krishna. But in Kurukshetra battle, Krishna is humbly taking the role of a chariot driver and giving all the credit and support and guidance to Pandavas. So, just as farmers uproot weeds in a field, the Supreme Lord Krishna uproots Dhritarashtra's sons in the religious field of Kurukshetra. This Kurukshetra is considered a dharmic field, Dharma Kshetra. Kshetra is a field. In this Dharma Kshetra, the Supreme Farmer Krishna is trying to establish Pandavas as victorious and pluck out the weeds like Karna and Duryodhan, Dushasan, and others, adharmic people. Now, our Sanjaya starts describing the scene on the battlefield. What was the scene? First, Duryodhan went to Bhishma and Drona. And Bhishma is the commander in chief of Duryodhan's army. And Drona is the Acharya. So Duryodhan started comparing his armies. He said that in my army, there are so many great personalities. And in Pandava's army, also there are personalities like Bhima, Arjun, Virata, Drupada, Abhimanyu. Many are there. Of course, Krishna is there, but he never fights. So basically, Duryodhan made a comparison between his own army and Pandava's army. He enumerated all the chief warriors in the army of Pandavas and chief warriors on his own side. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Jayadratha, all these people. Right? Then he said, Bhima is a less experienced warrior, while Bhishma is more experienced warrior. So because Bhishma is on our side, we will be victorious. And after glorifying all the glorious warriors on the side of Pandavas, Duryodhan said, Anye cha bahavaha sura madarthe tyakta jivitaha nanashastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. He says that I have all these great warriors with me and there are many other warriors. Madarthe tyakta jivitaha. All the warriors on my side are ready to sacrifice their lives for my own benefit. Now, there is an interesting perspective here. Duryodhan wants to highlight their loyalty and their dedication towards himself. But here, Madarthe Tyakta Jivitaha means Duryodhana is indirectly indicating that because these people have taken my side, they will definitely die. Tyakta jivita. They have to give up their lives because of taking the wrong side of adharma. Right? Sarve yuddha visharadaha. They are experienced in battle. Nana shastra prahanaha means they know so many shastras, but still they will have to give up their lives. And Duryodhana also says Bhishma is more experienced warrior, while Bhima is less experienced warrior. Therefore, we will be victorious. Although Duryodhana is confidently saying all these things, inside the heart he was thinking, last 13 years these Pandavas were not ruling any kingdom. They were living in the forests incognito. How come 7 Akshohinis of armies joined them? So many thousands of warriors came to support the Pandavas, although they were not ruling for the last 13 years. And Duryodhan managed to get 11 Akshohinis of armies. And Pandavas managed to get 7 Akshohinis of armies. Of course, Duryodhana's armies are more compared to Pandavas, but still, even to gather these many armies without in power is a big thing. And he was surprised. Duryodhana was surprised, and internally he was fearful also. But he was hiding his fears and expressing some kind of confidence, showing some diplomacy. Meanwhile, all the great warriors started blowing conch shells. First, Bhishma blew his conch shell, and later Pandavas blew their conch shells. So, when Bhishma blew his conch shell, he wanted to encourage his anxious grandson Duryodhan. But from another perspective, when Bhishma blew his conch shell, he was beginning this battle and he was beginning a worship of Krishna. Very important point. Whenever we are offering arati to the Lord, we begin that arati by blowing a conch shell, right? Bhishma, being a pure devotee, by participating in this war, he is just worshipping Krishna. How is that? Basically, what is worship? Service to Krishna, ultimately. You are expressing your service attitude. So, Krishna gave an important service to Bhishma. What is that service? The service is to fight on the side of Duryodhan and be defeated by Arjuna and be killed in this battle, and to prove to the whole world that however powerful and influential one may be, if one takes the side of adharma, they have to be defeated. Right? That's an important message. Bhishma is such a glorious personality, powerful warrior, but still because he has taken wrong side, he was defeated. So adharma will never win. And Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he engages his pure devotees like Bhishma also in apparently negative roles, uh, apparently on wrong sides, just so that we get a message, right? So Bhishma is cooperative. Basically, he is blowing conch shell to begin the worship of Krishna. Then Arjuna and Krishna entered there, were heroes. Tatah shvetaiर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवाः पाण्डवाश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रथत्मतुः. After Bhishma blew his conch shell, Pandavas also blew their conch shell. Madhava, Krishna blew his conch shell, and Arjuna blew his conch shell. And Krishna and Arjuna were on a beautiful chariot, golden chariot. Mahatisyandane sthito, they are on a very divine chariot. And Svetair Hayair Yukte, this chariot is driven by white horses. So you see any Krishna Arjuna picture, they have 4 horses, all are white. So then Divyo Shankho Pratatmatuhu, they blew a transcendental conch shell. Divya Shankha means divine conch shell, not ordinary conch shell. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Out of his intense affection for his dear devotees, he can take such menial roles as their drivers also. As Bhagavatam says, सारथ्यपार्षदसेवनसख्यदौत्या वीरासनानुगमनस्तवनप्रणामान् स्निग्धेषु पाण्डुषु जगत्प्रणतिं च विष्णोर्भक्तिं करोति नृपतिश्चरणारविन्दे. Out of his intense affection for his dear devotees, Krishna can play such simple roles as a driver, as a watchman, as a servant, as someone who assists the Pandavas by washing the feet of the guests who came for their Rajasuya sacrifice. So, all this is because of his love for Krishna. Sometimes a father may carry his little child on his back, and father becomes like a horse for the child, and the child is riding the father's back. This is love, this is affection. Not that father becomes inferior to the little child, but this is a symptom of love, affection. Same thing Krishna is doing. Let's see what are the conch shells that they blew. Even they have names. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Dadho Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrkodaraha Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sughoshamani Pushpakau. Krishna's conch shell is Panchajanya. Arjuna's conch shell is Devadatta. And Bhima's conch shell is called Poundram. And Raja Yudhishthir Maharaj blew a conch shell named Ananta Vijaya. Nakul and Sahadev blew their conch shells. Their names are Sughosha and Manipushpaka. They are all divine conch shells. When these Pandavas blew their conch shells, that combined sound shattered the hearts of all the Kauravas. But when people on the side of Duryodhan blew their conch shells, nothing happened to Pandava's side because they are sided by Krishna. Krishna is there as protector of these Pandavas. Now, Arjuna begins to observe his armies. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः हृषीकेशं तदा वाक्यम् idam aha mahipate. Means atha vyavasthitan drishtva, like Arjuna requested Krishna, please take my chariot. By the way, Arjuna already picked up his bow because their conch shells were blown. Arjuna picked up his bow, picked up his arrow. He fixed the arrow on the bow. He was about to release, but now he had a doubt in the battlefield. You see, he was confronting without any conviction. Although he managed to come on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to fight with his own relatives, internally he was not convinced. Should I fight or not? The doubts were there. The doubts are revealed now. He said that, oh Achyuta, please take the chariot in the middle of two armies so that I can see who all have assembled here. Krishna said, yes, behold Partha, all the Kurus have assembled here. Now the question is, doesn't Arjuna know who assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? He knows Bhishma was there, Drona was there, Karna, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Shakuni, all these people were there. They all agreed to participate in the battlefield. In the battle, Arjuna is aware of it. He was there in all the meetings, but still he wanted to see them because that shows his lack of readiness to do this. Let's see. Arjuna observed all the different categories of relatives. He saw people on the level of fathers like Bhurishrava, grandfathers like Bhishma and Somadatta, teachers like Duryodhana and Dronacharya and Kripacharya, uncles like Shalya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhan, Vikarna and others, sons like Lakshmana Kumar. Lakshmana Kumar is Duryodhan's son. Grandsons like sons of Lakshmana Kumar. Friends like Ashwathama. Fathers-in-law like Drupada. Now you may say, why Drupada name is mentioned? He's fighting on the side of um, Arjuna only, on the side of Pandavas only. Now he has not seen only those people on the side of Duryodhan. He's observing both the armies, right? When he's observing both the armies, he became very emotional, seeing his own relatives like this, well-wishers like Kritavarma. Ultimately, well-wishers Krishna. So basically, Arjuna saw different categories of relatives and he became overwhelmed. Now, he has to kill people on the battlefield. Question is killing bad? Yes, killing is definitely bad. But for a right reason, if a Kshatriya in a dharmic battle chooses to kill and be violent with an enemy, that is definitely according to dharma. It's not bad. Now, generally, killing anybody is bad. But if a soldier kills a terrorist on the border of the country, the soldier is considered very valorous and he's given titles and he's appreciated so much. Because killing, although it is generally bad, in some special cases, killing is required, punishing is required, especially when people take the side of adharma, they must be punished. They must be killed if required. So we can't just keep quiet thinking that I have to be non-violent always. ahimsa, I have to uphold always. In general circumstances, just be tolerant, be humble, be non-violent, don't cause trouble to anyone. But causing trouble to someone who causes trouble to other people is required. If a villain is, if a negative minded person is troubling innocent people, such a person must be punished. Especially it is the duty and responsibility of a kshatriya to punish such adharmic people. But Arjuna was thinking that, yeah, if someone else is there on the battlefield, I would have done it, but my own relatives are there, how can I kill them? Now here is mm, like emotions coming into picture. Even if it is your own relative, your own brother or grandfather or teacher or whoever, even if they are very close to you, if they take the side of adharma, you have to kill them. This is what Krishna is telling. You should not be partial in implementing dharma. If if some stranger commits a mistake, I will punish him. If my own relative commits a mistake, I will not punish him. So this is not correct, right? That is partiality. So whoever stands on the side of adharma must be disapproved, right? So that's what Krishna is going to tell Arjuna soon. But let's see what Arjuna had to say when he became very emotional. So Arjuna gives four reasons not to fight in this chapter. In this chapter, we'll see four reasons why Arjuna was not ready to fight. Let's see the first reason. Firstly, Arjuna was overwhelmed with compassion. He was extremely kind. Drishtve swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति. Drishtve swajanam Krishna. Oh Krishna, I have seen my own relatives. Yuyutsum, they are very eager to fight. Samupasthitam, they assembled on the battlefield to fight with their own relatives and kill their own relatives. Sidanti mamagatrani. Mukham cha parishishyati. My limbs are quivering. My mouth is drying up. My body is trembling. My hairs are standing on end. My Gandiva bow is slipping from my hands. My skin is burning. I cannot stand here. My mind is reeling. I only see great causes of misfortune. Generally, a Kshatriya goes on the battle to fight with an enemy and he sees, if we win this war, there is a fortune for us. We can enjoy the kingdom. But Arjuna sees that fighting in this war is misfortune, and even if I win this battle also, it's a misfortune only. Because I'll have to enjoy the kingdom without my relatives. That's the next reason. Second reason, he says, there is no enjoyment even if I win this battle. Because when we have some opulence, when we have some power, when we have some prestige, when we have some wealth and position, we derive enjoyment from all these opulences by showing them off to people whom we love. If nobody is there, your relatives are not there, you are alone sitting on the throne, what will you do? Uh, Arjuna is thinking like that. I cannot enjoy even a prosperous kingdom without my relatives. When my own relatives, when my own fathers or grandfathers or teachers or brothers or sons and grandsons and uncles and all these people die in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, how will I enjoy my kingdom? I cannot enjoy kingdom without them. So I don't desire a kingdom. I see that there is no pleasure without relatives. So this is the second reason. First reason is he was compassionate. Second reason is he is not seeing any enjoyment, any joy. Third reason is he was fearful of sin. He says that yes, definitely this Duryodhana party has committed so many offenses against us. They were very aggressive, aggressors, atatayinaha. So there are six kinds of aggressors. One, one who gives poison. Two, one who sets fire to one's home. Third, one who attacks with weapons, deadly weapons. Fourth, one who plunders others' wealth, riches. Five, one who occupies others' land. Six, one who kidnaps others' wives. These are six kinds of aggressors, according to Manusmriti. Pandavas experienced all these six kinds of aggressive activities from Duryodhana party. Duryodhana did all this. He gave poison to Bhima. He set fire to Pandavas' home, Lakshagraha. He attacked Pandavas with weapons many times. He took away their riches. He occupied their land. He insulted their wife. He did all kinds of aggressions. But still, Arjuna feels that even if we kill such aggressors, we'll be sinful. Right? There is a sin in killing aggressors also, which is not actually logical. If you punish or kill an innocent person, that is a sin. But if you punish and kill a sinful person, that is not sin. In fact, that's compassion on that sinful person, isn't it? Because when this sinful person receives punishment for the sin he has committed, he will not commit the same sin again. Thus, punishing a person, scolding a person who has done some adharma is actually an expression of compassion. But Arjuna thinks the other way. Arjuna feels that no, it's a sin to kill aggressors like this. These greedy people, they don't see any fault in killing relatives, but we do see. So I feel that it's sinful to kill even those people who committed aggressions. So I will not fight. So three reasons. First, he was compassionate. Second, he was fearful of. Second, he feels that there is no enjoyment even if I win this battle. Third, he sees that it's a sin, great sin, to kill aggressors. Fourth reason, very important reason, he says that when we kill so many people on the battlefield, that will affect their families. Families will be destroyed. Now, who comes on the battlefield? Strong heads of family, warriors come on the battlefield. Innocent women will not come. Innocent children will not come. Old people will not come. Right? So, in a family, there may be some children, there are some women, there are some old people. Now, if the stronger members of that family die in the battlefield, what will happen to all these innocent children and women and old people in that battle, in that home? They will get affected. So Arjuna says that, oh Krishna, if a dynasty is destroyed, or if stronger members or protecting members of the dynasty are destroyed, their family traditions will stop. Now, physical protection is one side, on one side, but there's another kind of protection also. Every family has a tradition. They will do some pujas, they uphold some kind of virtues and dharma, and they take some vows, and the family traditions must continue. But if the older members in that family are not present to guide the younger members in that family, younger members will not have proper supervision. They may behave according to their urges, and they may do things which are against their family traditions, and that's how adharma increases and children get spoiled. And also, innocent women will be exploited by unscrupulous men. That's another issue. There's and also lupta pindodaka kriyaha means the younger members in the family may not have proper guidance. They may not offer oblations to the ancestors. They may not worship or offer oblations to the pitris. Thus, all family traditions will stop. Jati dharmas and kola dharmas, everything will stop. So, we will be responsible for destruction of family traditions, destruction of families and their traditions. Will create great disturbance in the lives of so many innocent members of their family. All these arguments given by Arjuna seem very sound and very logical, and Krishna addresses all of them soon. Hmm. So, but Arjuna is thinking from uh, perspective of ordinary dynamics in this material world. But the reality is, according to Bhagavatam, whoever was killed by Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in the presence of Krishna, they went to the spiritual world. They were liberated. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीराय आहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम् नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूतं पदमापुरस्य. The meaning of the shloka is, all the warriors, soldiers who were killed by Arjuna with his arrows, they were purified by Arjuna's arrows because Arjuna is a pure devotee. When a pure devotee chastises or punishes someone also, that's a purification, cause of purification. And on top of it, all these warriors and soldiers who are pierced by Arjuna's arrows, they had an opportunity to see the beautiful face of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, before their death. So one who dies in front of Krishna, one who dies while seeing Krishna, one who dies by the compassionate arrows of a pure devotee, where will they go? They go to the spiritual world. So basically, this battle is an arrangement for liberating all these people. So Arjuna need not worry. People who are dying on the battlefield, they'll go to the spiritual world. They'll be liberated, and their families will also be taken care of by a virtuous devotee king, Yudhishthir Maharaj. We are speaking about survival in this material world only, but spiritual survival, spiritual protection is on a higher plane. Yudhishthira Maharaj will rule the kingdom. He will ensure that every citizen is protected. Everybody is protected spiritually, physically, materially, emotionally, in all ways. And under his rule, they will practice bhakti. They will also go back to Godhead. So sometimes we may be blinded by some immediate concerns about a situation, but we need to see the bigger picture, much bigger picture. From a spiritual perspective, only a visionary can do that. Otherwise, common people may get caught up in some immediate emotions. In short, in this chapter, Arjuna gives four reasons why he cannot fight. Number one, he was compassionate upon his relatives. Number two, he was not foreseeing any enjoyment even if he wins this battle. Right? Even if he becomes victorious, without his relatives, he says, I cannot enjoy. Third, he was fearful of sin. Although they are sinful people, they are aggressors, they troubled us in 100 different ways, still killing them is a sin. He considers like that. Then finally, he says their families will be destroyed, and the families are destroyed. That will lead to family destruction of family traditions. Even the family traditions will be destroyed. Their traditional worship will be stopped. So I will not fight. Now Arjuna is going to ask several questions to Krishna. Now Arjuna expressed his confusion in the first chapter. From the second chapter, Arjuna asks so many wonderful questions and Krishna gives philosophical answers. As I said yesterday, the context of this Bhagavad Gita discussion is war, but the content is life. How to lead a purposeful, meaningful, virtuous life. And these principles of leading ideal life, ideal human life, are presented through a wonderful conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is asking questions and Krishna is answering. Many scriptures do like that. Nowadays, lectures, people see little less, podcasts, people see more, right? But Bhagavad Gita is the original podcast where Arjuna is the host, are asking questions and Krishna is answering the questions. And another bigger podcast, longer podcast is Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj was asking questions, Sukadeva Goswami is answering. Naimisharanya sages were asking questions and Sutta Goswami is answering. So all our scriptures are podcasts more than lectures. Anyways, now Arjuna is asking these questions. Sometimes in a podcast, the host may not know the answer, and the guest or the speaker will give that answer. Or even if the host knows the answer, still on behalf of the audience, the host will ask the question and the speaker will answer. Or the host may ask some problems. Oh, these are the problems. How do you address this problem? For example, here is an interview where the conductor of the interview may ask a doctor about diabetics, right? If somebody has this diabetics, what should they do? And the doctor is giving so many suggestions. This does not mean this interviewer has the diabetics. The interviewer does not have any sickness. But on behalf of all sick people, this interviewer, she or he may ask some questions and the doctor will answer when the interview is happening with the doctor. Similarly, Arjuna may ask some basic questions. First, we need to understand Arjuna is bewildered in the beginning of battlefield by Krishna's arrangement only. Krishna influenced Arjuna to become confused, and in that confusion, he would ask so many questions, and Krishna will answer the questions so that we are enlightened. Arjuna is already enlightened. We need to see Arjuna from two perspectives. From an external perspective, Arjuna is like a confused warrior. From another perspective, Arjuna is an instrument in Krishna's hands. Krishna is influencing Arjuna to ask some important, relevant questions, philosophical questions, so that Krishna could give authentic answers so that we can get enlightened. Right? So don't minimize the position of Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna doesn't know even this. No, he knows all that. But by Krishna's arrangement, he is asking these simple basic questions also so that we can get answers. So Arjuna finally said, I better be killed unarmed. O Govinda, I shall not fight. Even if they fight with me, showering arrows at me, I will not retaliate. I will not throw arrows back. I decided not to fight. So now Arjuna is going to take shelter of Krishna in the next chapter, second chapter. Then Krishna is going to give very beautiful answers. We'll discuss that tomorrow. Today we have seen a quick overview of the first chapter. It began with Dhritarashtra's inquiry and Duryodhana's comparing armies, his army and Pandava's army, and blowing of conch shells, which are like a sign of Pandava's victory. One more sign of Pandava's victory is Hanuman is sitting on the flag of Arjuna. Hanuman was very much instrumental in gaining victory for Ram in the Lanka battle. Now that Hanuman, along with Ram in the form of Krishna, is present with Arjuna. And wherever Krishna is there, his supreme consort, divine consort, goddess of fortune also will be there. Sri, Lakshmi also will be there. There's Hanuman, Ram, Sita, all are there on the side of Arjuna. Arjuna will definitely become victorious. Then Arjuna became confused. Then Arjuna gave some reasons, four reasons not to fight, and Krishna will address them. We will see tomorrow the second chapter. We will cover second chapter for 3 days. First chapter is very small and simple, easily understood. Therefore, we covered in one day only. But second chapter is very deep. Multiple topics are there. We'll spend 3 days to cover the second chapter. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.